Who's on your wish list you wish you could interview, dead or alive?
I was supposed to interview OJ.
Okay.
Yeah. I was talking to his middleman because he couldn't legally take any money because the lawsuits were still pending, right? And we were supposed to do it for $100,000. And we came to agreement. They just said, don't get too deep into the murder questions. Don't talk about the blood evidence and stuff like that.
Right.
But we could talk kind of around it, and we could talk about all the other stuff, the Vegas arrest and so forth, as well as the football career. And I'm like, yeah, I think this will really go. This will be a major interview. And, retroactively, it would have been his only real interview before he passed. The problem was first of all, they're like, he wants cash. And I'm like, all right, well, we could do cash. You'll have to sign a release form and sign a W-9 and do an invoice. Okay, yeah, cool, we'll do that. All right, cool. All right, so we'll do it, $100,000. We want all the money before he walks into the building. I said, well, come on now. OJ owe people like $20 million, and he's not paying. What? He can drive off. What am I going to do, shoot at him?
Right.
That's just my money. It's gone.
Right.
No, he's not going to do that. I said, look, I'll give you 50 when he shows up, 50 when we're done. No. It had to be the 100,000 before he walked in the room. So that was that. I just said no. From a business aspect, it was just too much of a risk for a company my size.
True. So
I ended up not doing it. So I wish I did the OJ interview.
Okay. Let me ask you this. Where do you see your empire? Because you're a staple on this.
Thank you.
On this media, Mike. Where do you see you and your company in the next 5 years?
Well, there's probably going to be some television stuff. It's starting to come together. I can't really say what it is yet because the full deal is not in place yet. But there is some stuff. I mean, you talked about it off camera.
Right.
And I just want to keep pushing the envelope, man. I really look at myself as a 60 Minutes of hip hop.
Right.
And I really try to get the biggest interviews and go as in-depth as I possibly can. There's a Tekashi 6ix9ine interview that's at 8 or 9 million views. That really, he's done other interviews, but this interview is the one that's reacting right now because we really dig into a story.
Right.
I just interviewed Errol Musk, who's Elon Musk's father, and he's got the sex abuse allegations and so forth. But he feels comfortable enough to talk to me about it. He hasn't done any other interviews. But to sit there, usually in situations like that, people don't want to talk to anybody.
Right.
Right, because it was a big New York Times article and so forth and all types of allegations spanning decades. But he said, nah, I trust you. I want to get the story out. So these are the type of things where I feel it's historically significant interviews that resonate. For example, the Keefe D interview.
Okay.
That essentially solved the Tupac murder.
Okay.
Not exactly. I mean, only law enforcement could really solve it, but this is the first time you heard someone who was involved in the murder talk about everything that led up to it, what happened on that night, and what happened afterwards. Whereas before, everyone thought, oh, he's still in Cuba, oh, Suge had him killed, oh, the police switched the bodies or something. No, here's the real story over one of the most important musical artists of our time. And that's the type of piece that I put out in the world. Or for example, heroes of mine that never had documentaries like John Witherspoon. I did his last interview. I did his only life story piece. And I'm sure you're a super fan as well.
Oh yeah, that's
I would have stopped at the Mushroom Belt.
Yes, he's my man. God rest his soul.
Yes.
Let me ask you this. Fair or not fair, do you feel the backlash that you get from my community is rightfully so or wrongly so? How do you feel about that? Because you have certain individuals I be seeing, and I tell them all the time, I'm a Vlad fan. Vlad fan, I am with you. I've never been a group dude.
Yeah, group thinker.
Well, group dude, and when I say group dude, he don't like you, so I don't like you. You know what I mean? I never did that. I never jumped on another person because that dude don't like you. So let me ask you something. How do you feel with the turbulence that is in our community that you have people such as me, DL, that support you, and I no names or nothing, but are certain as those on it. Do you feel is justified, misunderstood, or just they out of their fucking minds?
Well, look, number one, you know a bunch of the people that do support me. You've named it. They went to your wedding.
Right.
Right? Johnny Gill's a great friend of mine. I'm at his house all the time.
That's
Judge
my
Mathis
brother.
is on my show multiple times. D.L. Hughley lives down the street from me. We talk almost every week. He does my show every couple months. We can go, Big Boy lives up the street for me. We talk all the time. Like, so, yes, there's going to be certain people that don't like me, but here's the thing, and you know this, right? Online, it looks like you have all these haters, but in real life, that's not actually the situation.
True.
Because when I go out, when I'm in a grocery store, I'm at the mall, mostly black men approach me and ask me for photos and tell me how much they love my show. Introduce me to their kids, want to take pictures with their kids and so forth. I don't get hate on the internet the way I do in real life. In real life, like, I'll be having a fucked up day and I'll walk out and people will come up to me and really like say some incredible things to me that have really like turned around my days. I mean, I had one of the worst days ever. And a guy walked up to me, said, "Hey man, I just want to let you know I was in the military, and your interviews really got me through a lot of the hard times. And I just want to say how much I love your work." And I'm like, damn, like, you have no idea how much this means right now. I'm just having a really, really bad day right now. And this is everything right now to me. So there's going to be people that don't like me. Some of those people I have personal situations with. Some of the people just generally don't like me because of whatever I'm the feds, I'm the police. Black men get locked up when doing interviews with me.
Right.
The only black man that got locked up because of my interview was Keefe D.
Okay.
But he also wrote a book about everything we interviewed about,
Right.
which was on Amazon.
Right.
So, and he's talking about a case on multiple platforms that he knows is still an open murder case. But aside from that, I have not heard of a single person that did my show that got any sort of legal repercussions because of an interview that we did, because I've always been very, very careful about who I interview and about what. There's a lot of interviews I've turned down because I've said, this is going to end up in your case. Like my friend Taxstone, who's doing like 35 years, wanted me to do an interview during his trial, and I just said, no, it's a murder trial. This is going to get brought up in the evidence. You say the wrong thing, your lawyer's saying not to do it, so I'm not going to do it. And this has happened multiple times. But you can't get to a certain level and just have universal love. Like, Cat Williams say you're illiterate out of the blue. You thought you was cool with him. Like, weird stuff like that will just happen. It'll just happen out of the blue. People you thought you were cool with will suddenly say some outrageous stuff to go viral. And sometimes you work it out with them and sometimes you don't. And life goes on. But I honestly am very thankful. And I feel my core audience is the male black community. Because I have about a 90% male viewership.
Okay.
And the fact that I never intended to do what I'm doing right now when I was a kid. I thought I'd go off in a totally different direction. And it just so happened that life did its thing and I somehow wound up in this space. And I put everything I had into it. And I think people ultimately appreciate it. And I think I brought a lot of positivity, brought a lot of cool stories. A lot of people that I've had regularly on my show have gone on to have great careers. And I feel I've amplified their careers in my own way. I feel that they get a lot more bookings and so forth. Like we said, Aries is now doing the Saudi, comedy festival. And when you look at that list, he's not one of the bigger names.
No.
He's not. And that's not a shot at Aries. It's just the reality of it. You're up there with Chappelle and Kevin Hart. These guys do stadiums, right? He's still doing clubs. And the fact that he's out in Saudi Arabia, getting a check that he won't even say how much it's for, makes me feel like, all right, like I think we're doing something that millions of people always react to, because whenever I sit down with people, usually at least 1 million people watch. Usually, then it gets into 2, 3, 5, 7 million category. So it's fine. The people that have an issue with me, hopefully at some point we could work it out. And if we don't, that's fine too.
Well, you will always be my friend, man.
Yeah,
I enjoyed
likewise.
being with you, man. We got to do it more often, man.
Let's do
This
it.
was the thing.
Let's do it.
And Vlad, you my brother, man.
Likewise.
Don't lose no more weight, man. You're disappearing.
Peace.
Peace.